Hey, what's up, everyone? It's the King of Ruckus, and I've just played through Dead Rising 2 Case West for probably the third time. Even though I've played through it 3 times, I can't say that I think it's worth $10. It's an Xbox 360 exclusive, as was Case Zero before it. Case Zero was half the price, but I think it offered more content, even though it didn't have Frank West, which is really something else. Capcom really kept touting the fact that Frank West was coming back to the franchise, and people were excited to play this because he was in it. And it turns out that in single player, you can't pick him. In order to use Frank West, you've got to join someone else's game and play co-op. Frank West, he's got a different moveset. If you played the first Dead Rising, you know a lot of his moves already. He's still got that spinning, that Zangief move. He's got the shoulder tackle. He's got a lot of his moves that were fun to use in the first game. But he can also still take pictures, even though that really feels like more of a tacked-on gimmick.
Damn right.
Come on, stop messing around.
And he can also build his own combo weapons, as Chuck Green started doing in Dead Rising 2.
Like this one.
I got this DLC, and I got through it in about, I want to say 2.5, 3 hours. And I was taking my time, too. I did have some fun with it. There's some new combo weapons to build. Not too many, but a couple new ones. Some of them are simple. Some of them are flat out devastating. Like, you mix an impact hammer and the amplified shotgun, and you get a weapon that if you slam it to the ground in the midst of like a bunch of zombies, it'll clear like 20 or 30 of them. So is this DLC worth $10? After playing through it 3 times, I'm still not entirely sold. I really feel like this could have been better. Like I mentioned before, they should have had a character select, and that's just not me being nitpicky. It's literally, there is no moment where these two characters aren't in the same room, even during a cutscene.
That's bullshit.
And in single player, you could even change Frank West's clothes if you want. You like aim at the clothes, you hold right trigger and hit Y, or is it left trigger, one of them. And
Very nice.
it's pointless, but you can do it.
Quite, Frank.
It's like, if you take the time to put that in, why not give me a character select where I can pick Frank West if I want to? If I didn't feel like messing around with Chuck's moves, I could use Frank West.
Works.
I mean, you hyped him up. You should have put him in the game as a playable character in single player, not just co-op. That's just one thing. And as I mentioned before, it really feels like there's less of a game here than there was with Case Zero. It's not just because of the lack of a pawn shop. It feels like the Phenotrans facility it's kind of small. It looks nice. It's laid out fairly well, but still feels like a small area. It's a limited number of survivors to pick up, and I do realize that's because it's an epilogue, really. And when you get these survivors, one thing that I like that they changed is that you don't have to escort them to a save spot. They kind of know their way around, so you help them with whatever they need help with, and they go about their business. And I think that also helps cut down the time a bit. It kind of works against Capcom. When you're buying a $10 game and you get through it, like I said, it took me 2.5 hours, and I was messing around. Like, in subsequent playthroughs, I'm able to get through it much quicker. Is this worth $10? I gotta say no. I had fun with it, yeah, but it really didn't add much to the story. And like the little tweaks to the gameplay mechanics, they don't justify paying $10. But like I said earlier in this review, the taking photos with the camera feels like an added-on gimmick. You only get prestige points when you aim at certain markers.
Not bad.
That's it. If you remember from the first game, you got markers for like quote-unquote erotica, horror, and other certain things. And when you take pictures like that, it doesn't matter. They're just saved. You can view them later up to a certain amount. I think it saves like, I don't remember the number. It saves a set number of pictures, but you don't get anything for those pictures. And since you start at level 40, you can rank up really fast. And you start at level 40 even if you already built Chuck Green up to level 50 in Dead Rising 2. But I guess it makes sense because the DLC is already fairly easy, especially if you play on single player. Because Frank West, he's invincible, basically. He cannot be killed. You never need to heal him. You can give him a weapon whenever you want, but it doesn't matter because he can handle himself. And if his bat breaks, he'll just literally pull another one out of his ass and start swinging it. So that's going to be it for this review. I'm going to have more of an in-depth written review. I'll put that either below in the description or I'll put it on the site somewhere. The link will be in the description. And if you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe. Be sure to check out my other channel too for regular gameplay videos. And I'll see you next time.
Get your ass out of my face. Back up. You're too close. I said drop it. Consider it dropped.